do?
So We Are Gntlmen is a menswear brand based in Manchester, online predominantly. But we make high quality, great fitting men's casual shirts, and we've just gone into making a bit of knitwear as well. I created a brand, I wanted to stand for something, so our kind of message, I suppose, is trying to reinvent the true gentleman. I think every man should be honest, kind, well-mannered, chivalrous, and well-dressed. Okay. We've got this motto, it's like, we believe that when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. So that's the kind of brand messaging we're trying to put across, and shirts at the moment is our platform in which we're painting that picture.
Cool. It's interesting that you're based in Manchester and you're looking for an honest man, chivalrous,
yeah.
honourable mank.
Honourable mank.
So, so obviously I want to talk about your story and how you've got to where you are today. So maybe we should start right back at the beginning. Maybe where the idea came from.
It's quite funny because I get asked this a lot, like where did the idea come from? It was actually, I came home one night, so to give it a bit of context, I used to work in music before this. So I'd go on tour with bands and DJs and artists from all over the world. And I'd be out on the road for like 3 weeks at a time, back for a week, out again. And then that ended really kind of suddenly. I didn't really know what to do. But I knew I wanted to do something of my own, because in that music job, I was very independent, in charge of my whole day, managing my own time. So I knew I wanted to be in charge of that in my life, and I knew I wanted to build something, but I didn't quite know what it was. So I took a part-time job while I was trying to work it out. And then one night, I came home, I turned the TV on, and the only way was Essex was on. I was watching it for like 2-3 minutes.
Then just turn it back off.
And I was just like, what is going on here? Like, what are these guys? It was an episode where this guy's been really horrible to his girlfriend or his wife or whatever it was, and she ended up just like throwing a drink over him or a glass of wine. I was like, you deserve that. Like, it was horrible. And it was just this little spark in my head. It was like, whatever happened to being a gentleman? And that, it kind of got rolling. The more I thought about it, the more I could understand it, because I was seeing, people around me that were being influenced by these reality TV people. I was like, this just isn't good. I want to do something. I want to do something about this. And that's how the brand concept actually came before the product.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trained in fashion, or I haven't studied fashion, but I've always bought brands. I've always bought nice clothes.
Yeah.
So I spent a bit of time thinking, right, I've got this brand idea. How do I put it out there? And it was a case of like, right, I like buying clothes. I like buying shirts. Let's match the two up and just see where we can go from there. So I got a logo and a name designed, bought 100 t-shirts, I think, that got, embroidered them, and I borrowed a sewing machine from my mum's friend that I had absolutely no idea how to use. I tried stitching these labels into the back of t-shirts in my spare bedroom. Yeah. Absolute disaster.
Interesting there. So you say that the idea was born and then you went and just bought 100 t-shirts. Yeah. Where from?
No, so
where they come from?
I thought, right, because I thought about the products, and I thought t-shirts are probably the easiest thing to do first. Yeah. So I just literally Googled like t-shirt manufacturers or t-shirt suppliers or something like that.
Yeah. Is that in the UK?
And so I managed to find like blank garment wholesalers. Right. So there's these companies out there that will buy, 10,000 white t-shirts, 10,000 black, and just sell them to you to do whatever you want to. So I found a couple of them, and there was one that was based about 40 minutes from my house. Yeah. So we just use them. It was pretty easy, because there's no minimum orders with them, so I could literally just buy.
So in my head, the first thing I thought was, I bet he was like in Alibaba and digging around in China or something.
Not at first. I didn't even think about that when you start. Like, it literally didn't even cross my mind.
With the logo designer, was that someone you knew that did that for you, or was you just looking around Upwork and Fiverr?
It was a bit of both. So I came up with the name because the brand was called just Gentlemen Clothing when we first started, and I wanted something that really tied in with the name. I didn't want like a moustache or a monocle or a top hat. So I was like, it's just too kind of cliche. Yeah. And so luckily, the company that I'd found that would do the embroidery for me, they had a design team as well. Yeah. So I saw something, I can't remember what it was, but I was like, a penny farthing, that's great, and it goes really well with the brand name. Yeah. So I just kind of worked with that design team to get it, finalised and ready for action type thing. Cool. And yeah, so I kind of came up with the concept. They tweaked it and made it, commercially ready almost. Because the one I did had like loads of different spokes in it and stuff. You just can't really.
That's cool.
Embroider that.
Where did it? So when was this? How long ago?
2013. So So I incorporated the business on May the 23rd, 2013.
Does that mean that you literally made it official?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm due to do that very shortly.
Really?
I'm nervous.
I've still got it. It's the certificate framed in my office.
Do you remember how much it was? Because this is interesting to me, because I'm going to have to do it, and someone says to me pocket change. No one seems to remember how much it cost to...
14 quid.
Is that it? Literally?
Yeah. So
real
it's genuinely pocket change.
That's pretty cool.
Literally 13 quid, I lied.
So between 2013 to now, what's the progress been like? What have you been doing between those 2 years?
It's been weird. Like it's been a learning curve, because like I said, I never had a fashion background, so I didn't really know how the fashion world worked. I never had a business background, so I didn't know how the business world worked. So going into this as like a young, kind of almost a bit naive 23-year-old, like I can take on the world type thing. You learn pretty quickly that you can't. So yeah, over in 2013, so I did t-shirts and sold a few of them. Then I started doing polo shirts and jumpers and other little bits and bobs. Yeah. But we weren't really getting known for anything. No one item was standing out more than others. So I tried a few different things. So I was selling online, and I literally, do you watch The Apprentice?
Yeah.
So I thought to myself one day, I'm gonna do like an apprentice style day. So I'm just go around to small retailers, walk in, pitch them my brand, get them to buy something. And so I found one online in Congleton. Yeah. I just literally drove there, walked in, I was like, I want to see the manager. Turns out he was the manager, so I literally just did all this spiel to him, and he put an order together. Yeah. I'm like walking out like, all right, I can do this. So that was good, because I thought, right, we're on to a winner here. We're selling stuff online. I've got this new retailer that's ordered, I think it was like £5,000 worth of product off me. Right, that's amazing. Decent. And so I had to go and make this product, especially for the order, because I wasn't sat on enough stuff to give him. So this is the first mistake that I probably made, and it was, I know it sounds harsh, but I just trusted the guy. Yeah. Didn't take a deposit off him. Oh, no. And so I made all this stuff at my expense. And bearing in mind, I emptied my savings account to buy the t-shirts and stuff like that. So I didn't really have any money. So I made all this stuff for him, dropped it off to him, and he said, all right, I'll pay you in 30 days. I was like, brilliant, ideal. Guess what? Hey. Didn't pay me 30 days. Still haven't been paid for it.
Did he sell the stock though?
Sold the stock, yeah.
See, that's
so I actually one day got to me. So I drove to his shop, went in, started trying to get everything off the rails and off the shelves. I got forcefully removed from the shop.
Lesson learned.
And the police were involved. Yeah.
Lesson
learned, and you've got to go through it. But we use a retailer now who's like one of the good guys. Yeah. And perfect. But yes, so since then, I was like, let's just focus online. Most of our sales are coming from there anyway.
You've got your own e-commerce platform, but do you use like Amazon and marketplaces as well?
No, it's just all through our store.
Cool.
At the minute, which is quite easy to manage. But that's through choice rather than anything. I just want to drive as much as I can directly. But yeah, I mean, we've got customers in like 16 countries now. I've had the opportunity to go to Japan, Korea, France, Spain, Germany, Sweden, to present the brand to people and meet new customers and stuff. And
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Are these retail customers you're talking about?
Yeah. So it was really strange. So I meant to meet. So in Korea, eBay works a lot differently than it does here. Yeah. They're one of the biggest retail platforms over there, just for full price stuff. Yeah. So I'm there 18 months, 2 years into business, getting a lift to the eBay office in South Korea, and I'm going past floors that Adidas are on this floor, Facebook are on this floor. I'm
going higher and higher.
What the hell am I doing here? It's just really, really intimidating, but quite cool.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, it's quite good, because you get to understand different cultures and the way they buy things and their consumer mentality as well. So you can kind of use that and channel it into what I do to build the brand, essentially. Because I think that's the beauty of being online. You effectively are almost like a global player from day one. Yeah, you're connected to everything. Exactly. How do you, obviously because I work in marketing, how is it you drive traffic to your website? Are you mainly promoting through social? All social. Instagram? Yeah. Instagram, Facebook. It's anything that works. Google is just far too expensive for us. If you type in white Oxford shirt. I think with Google, one thing I found was interesting was that there's
people feel safe. Businesses feel safe sat behind text. You know, if they don't have to go out and take pictures and they don't have to get models in and they don't have to get involved and they don't have to be in the public eye. So it's easy to just bid on AdWords because they don't have to do anything. Where if you're actually using Facebook and Insta, you have to
create
work.
Content.
Yeah.
It's quite funny that because that's the one reason I don't like Google.
Yeah.
It's because it is just text.
Yeah.
And I think our product like ours needs to be visual and sold through content rather than a sentence.
And a small business is never going to compete with the likes of Adidas on keywords or
we used to get outbid all the time. Like Jack Wills are the ones who just like
hammer it, and they've got teams dedicated to hammering it as well. So like you've got
deep pockets.
Yeah. No, it's but I like the fact that small businesses have to get creative, and in some cases it's better because you're more agile.
Yeah.
And these big businesses can't move that fast.
No, I remember. It's funny you should say that because I went to an internet retail conference, I suppose it was.
Yeah.
The one I went, it was last year. I went to Ralph, like 2 sales and marketing people from Ralph Lauren were there.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of made me think, because they said we want to build. They used like ships and boats as a reference. They're like, we want to build the biggest ship in the ocean.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about it, it's like that's probably the worst thing to do, because you're big, but you can't move anywhere. It takes you ages to turn around if you need to. You can't just go this way if the market changes. So I was like, you need to kind of build like a fleet of speedboats. I almost said in my head, so you can just go off in different ways.
Well, like I said, I work in marketing. I specialise in online e-commerce, and that's what I do. All digital, online e-commerce, and it's clear to me that, I mean, just looking slightly ahead at what the trends are and where they're headed is there's so much new tech, so many new things coming in so fast. The business I work for struggles to adapt quickly to it, and just like that hits them.
Exactly.
Even mobile just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And the next thing is voice search, or or there's apps now that are video sale.
Yeah.
Like Snapchat. It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
I love the fact that it changes so much.
Oh yeah, it's good. It keeps you on your toes.
But it gives you opportunity to grow and beat those big dogs.
Well, and if you get in there early as well, I mean, you can really hammer it, can't you?
Previously, they had it contained because it was just big department stores, and that was the only way in and out.
Yeah.
But now
There's so many different channels and different angles and stuff.
No, it's interesting.
It is interesting, but it's exciting as well.
So we've gone from where your idea came from, how you got your stuff, getting dicked over by that first guy, moving into...
Still want to meet him down like a dark alley somewhere as well.
Screw him. And then moving into retailers. So what was the journey past that point then? So you've gone in, you've connected to the rest of the world. Does that lead us up to where we are today?
Yeah, more or less.
Where are we?
We work with that retailer that we use called the Chapper.
Yeah.
I got them and I just knew they were like one of the good guys. So I thought, right, let's just focus all our efforts on our site and grow with the Chapper as much as we can.
Yeah.
So with them we've grown over like 2,000% in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And our online revenue's grown at like over 400% in the last 2 years just from focusing. And that's what we're at now. I think when I first started it was like a spaghetti at the wall thing and see what's stuck. But now it's a case of, right, we know what's kind of sticking.
Yeah.
Let's really double down on it and then start building back out slowly and surely. But yeah, so that's where we're at today. Obviously, we've identified that we need a bit of cash.
Yeah.
So we're going through that first fundraise now, which is delightfully stressful.
Tell us all about this fundraising. I'm interested in not only what it is, what you're doing, but how did you come into this? When did the decision come for this? And what do you hope to achieve?
So for fundraising, I knew I'd say it was about a year ago that to really start competing and doing stuff, we can't do it on an organic kind of budget, and the money that we're making was always being reinvested, but it was never enough to really make an impact or a hit. So I thought we need investment in these 3 key areas. Yeah. So I just went looking for it. Again, didn't really know where to start. Yeah. So I had a load of conversations with different advisors and different people. I mean, that's when like the network becomes really powerful. Yeah. So you obviously don't know who you're being introduced to. So I got introduced to a few like angel investors who really asked some challenging questions that made me go back to the business plan and go, yeah, I need to maybe do that. So I've had loads of conversations and loads of like different experiences as well. So I had this guy, I emailed him just saying, sent your shirts out, hope they arrive all right. I got an email back saying, thanks Matt, I'm over in London in 3 weeks. It'd be good to talk about your vision and your requirements. I was like, yeah, that'd be amazing. I knew it was like a big hitter. At this point, it was quite funny actually, because I'd just moved house. So I lived in Shropshire when I first started this off. So I moved to Manchester. This was only earlier this year.
Yeah.
So I moved to Manchester. So that's quite an expensive time. And we had a few like manufacturing issues and stuff that absorbed a lot of business cash.
Yeah.
So there was very little that I was playing with. And this guy, he said, I'm in London on the 10th of whatever month it was. Come and meet me. So I was like, oh fuck. I want to buy a train ticket, but I haven't got enough in my bank to afford a train ticket. And it was literally that bad. There was not enough in my personal account, and there wasn't enough in my business account combined to buy a train ticket. I'm like, right, what do we do?
Virgin, you suck.
Virgin, you're so expensive, man. So I literally, it was quite funny because in my house at that time, it was just full of boxes because I just moved. I turned all of them upside down looking for this one credit card that I knew had 500 quid left on it. I was like, I've got to find it because I've got to get to London. Couldn't find it. And I really don't know how. I was only short of the mark by like 7 or 8 quid for the train thing. But I just put my details in when I was buying the ticket and it went through. I was like, oh, fine. I've got a train ticket, but I'm overdrawn in my personal account and I'm overdrawn in my business account. Like I've got no money to do anything. So I'm like, I get to London, I've got to get to the other side of London to meet him. How do I do that? And it was just panic, like, because I had about 6 grand worth of invoices that were due to come in just from that retailer.
Yeah.
But they weren't due for like another 30, 40 days. I'm like, that's a long time to not have cash. So I went down, I think I was white on all that whole journey, so I was just like, I've got a meeting with this like billionaire, and I've got no money in my account. It just felt really, really ironic. But anyway, I got into this meeting, and he'd done his like background check on us, and I didn't have to sell to him at all. Well, I'd prepared these like financial documents, everything like really in depth. Got in there, and he's just like, "You need cash, don't you?" I'm like, "Yes." Literally the first thing he said, and he just got where we were at.
Yeah.
And like, he said, "How much cash do you think you need?" I said, "About 300 grand." And he was like, "Yeah, you're right. Probably need between 250 and 300 grand." I said, "Is that something you're interested in?" He said, "Yeah, I'm interested in that." He said, "Send all the documents over and we'll get it done." I'm like, this is like 20 minutes into a meeting.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, brilliant.
Bear in mind this happened with the same guy in the shop.
Yeah. Bear in mind it's happened with the same guy in the shop. Yeah. And so he said, "So how much equity are you looking to sell for that?" And I was like, I'm going to be cheeky. I was like, 10%? And he was like, "Brilliant, sounds good to me, get it done." And he we'd always had dialogue through his like PA as well. And she said, "Send it all to her and we will get it sorted." 33 minutes I was walking out of there going, I just done this deal, like proper on top of the world. Like, I was like, don't get carried away with yourself. This has happened before. You know, don't celebrate until the money's in your account type thing. But I got home, sent him all the documents. He came back to me the next day saying, "Right, I'll have a look at these over the weekend, get back to you on Monday." All right, this is moving pretty quick. Didn't get back to me on Monday. Neither did he get back to me on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. And so it went about 2 weeks. I just prodded him, saying, "Where are we up to?" And he came back with a few questions, which I answered. And the whole process went on for about 2.5 months in total.
Yeah.
I thought it's got to be close to getting done. Like, I got my lawyers involved. I think they were speaking to his lawyers just about, what we needed to put in place. And I'm still trying not to get carried away, but like it was 5:26 one morning. I remember it. I just woke up to an email, and he was like, "Hey Matt, really sorry. Circumstances have changed. I've got to invest a lot of cash into the business that I'm currently running. So I've got no investment dollars for the next 12 months." And I was just like, yeah, my heart just like dropped. I was like, as if that's happened.
No, I think that, like you said, with the shop guy and like that story there, it's a big part of it, isn't it? It's learning the hard way. And also, if it was easy, everyone would do it, and there wouldn't be any money to be had. So
I just thought it was a line because he was a customer. He reached out to me.
Yeah, and he did all the work.
He's got a load of money.
Yeah, but you never know though. You could always come back. If it was less than 12 months ago, then maybe not.
Well, I still speak, like, he still acts as an advisor, which is good.
This is it. I think that you treat that as more of call it a halo effect. It didn't generate any cash, but you never know where it'll lead in the future.
Well, exactly. So yeah, that's
a good story though.
Good, so not a very enjoyable experience, I'm not going to lie.
I think it's interesting that you said that you're not got 30 days to get paid. That's literally most people's daily struggle. Like I get paid, and I spend all my money immediately on things I owe, and I gotta go like shit out of the last 30 days.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Because you almost go into like the power of broke and you make it happen. Like,
Yeah, no.
it's strange.
Human spirit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like, it is strange. You end up doing stuff that you wouldn't usually do.
So that was the first attempt at investment. You're currently using Crowdcube.
Yeah.
And you're trying to raise
Minimum 125.
125. Cool.
Yeah, so
what's the purpose? What are you trying to do here?
so after that investment thing, I was like, do you know what? I've got a database here of 1,300 customers.
Yeah.
I've got a network on LinkedIn of 1,500 people. Why not try and get these people involved as well? Because if you're a customer, you already bought into the brand, so it'd be quite nice to be a shareholder and financially involved in the brand. I've got a few people on LinkedIn that have or in my network that said, oh yeah, I can do like 10 or 15 grand. I'm not a big hitter or anything like that. So I thought this would be quite good because, on Crowdcube you can end up with like 400 or 500 investors.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about it, the more I thought that's probably better because it means I've got 400 or 500 like brand champions.
Yeah.
They're going to go out and say, I'm an investor in this shirt company.
Pushing your business.
And pushing the business. And the amount of exposure you get as well. I think on Crowdcube it's 468,000 registered investors that all see kind of the campaign. They don't all see it, but most of them see the campaign. So I thought, if anything, I'll probably pick up some more customers from it as well.
Yeah.
And I'll raise the money. So that's kind of where the thought came from. And the more I got into it, I was like, I really want my customers to be a part of this as well. I'm really part of this journey.
Yeah.
And I want to share it with them, and I want them to be a part of it. So one of our rewards on the campaign is you invest X amount, and you can come and design a product, name it, and it'll be limited edition. We'll list it on the site and we'll sell it. And it's just like it really gets a customer if they got 10
involved
grand.
as well.
Yeah, involved.
Involved. So, it's ownership, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's really powerful. I mean, you look at Brewdog's probably the best example to use with crowdfunding. Valued at £1 billion now. Look how many brand champions they've got.
They flipped it on its head.
Yeah,
the model.
They totally revolutionised the way you can fundraise, I think.
No, I think they're doing a hotel at the moment as well. I was reading about it the other day. Brewdog Hotel. I don't know where it's going to be, but that's again the same idea.
It's madness.
So, with if you do reach your total, I guess looking forward now, what's in store the next 5 years? What's headed down the road for you?
It's quite exciting because I've always had a mentality of I never want to build a clothing company. I want to build a brand.
Yeah.
And I think they're two different things that sometimes get confused a little bit. So I don't just want to sell a shirt. I want to kind of promote a lifestyle and sell stuff that complements an individual or a demographic. So as part of this raise, as well as people are the most important part of a business, I think. And bringing more people in full time is like a massive thing for us to do. So I'm going to do that. We've got more effort going into the brand exposure, brand build, online marketing stuff, and just building revenues essentially. And just allowing us to be able to buy more stock and the best selling things. But in the next 5 years, I actually want to delve outside of menswear. I know it sounds weird, but I've got this kind of weird vision of opening like barbershops and cocktail bars and stuff that really kind of ties in with our brand values and works for our customer. Because I know what our customer does in their daily life. I know kind of the places they go and what they want to do. So by doing this, don't steal my secrets here, but by doing this, it acts as like a point of difference. No one else is doing it. Everyone wants to do shirts and they'll do jackets and t-shirts, everything else. While we'll do that, we'll do some more innovative stuff as well, offline. And that's really what I want to do is start to just to build exposure in other avenues as well, and to kind of build this full circle to move forward with. We've got a kind of a give back program that we're trying to roll out now, called the Gentlemen Clothing Foundation, which we're going to partner with a local charity that deals with young males that are maybe disadvantaged or grown up without a male role model in their life. So we're going to go in and deliver these kind of workshops, I suppose, on gentlemanly ethics, how to tie a tie, why you should open a door, why you should be nice to your mum, how much flowers mean when you're buying it,
how to shave,
all these little things we're going to show to people. You've got to encourage it from day one. Be a bit weird. You're 8 years old. Here's how to shave. Maybe I need to learn how to do that, but just some of this give back stuff that stands more for the brand values than the product. So there's loads we want to do, and that's my problem. I want to do everything. So I think with this cash, it'll really have to make me focus on, that timeline and when we do it, opposed to trying to do it all at once and doing that spaghetti at the wall thing.
I think like you said, when you performed best when you had focus as well. Instead of spreading yourself too thin, I think with investment, it'll allow you to hone in certain areas and then get to grips with things.
I think that the problem is when you start a business, you're always under-resourced, so naturally you're going to be spreading yourself thin on everything that you do as a founder or a business owner.
Yeah.
So that is the most important part for me, is just adequately placing those resources in the right places. I think once we get that formula right, we can then take on the world.
I think that your story is pretty cool. I mean, you've had some cool stuff happen, but I think the coolest. Actually, I need another word than cool. The most wicked, man. The best part is what's next. What's coming down the line. I think you'll reach your investment. I think you'll have a lot of brand champions as you want. And I think the next steps are going to be most exciting for you. It'd be interesting to catch up with you actually, and see where you've gone. It's quite a. I talked to you for ages, didn't I? I just realised.
Oh mate, I just gas. You get me going, I'm done.
I think that you should give 3 top tips for someone not starting a business, but someone who's interested in starting a fashion business.
Starting a fashion business.
Or I tell you what, no, you can choose 3 top tips for either starting a business or moving into a fashion business.
I do starting a business probably.
Yeah.
The top one, I suppose it's come from experience, but don't believe anything people tell you.
Yeah.
In less polite terms, people chat shit. So you got to take it with a pinch of salt, and don't. People will always be trying to sell you stuff, and trying to make themselves look a lot better. So I think it's being able to filter that and listen to the people that you know are genuine. Second thing is, it's a bit weird, but don't listen to anyone.
Yeah.
In a
weird way.
Don't
like people, do you?
I love people. But you'll find that everyone, if they're in business or not, has an opinion on how you should run your business. They might be a tech founder, totally different field, or they might, they might work in a shop. They all have an opinion on how you should run a business.
Do you not find you get that people as well who aren't in business?
Yeah. So I mean,
everyone has an opinion.
Everyone has an opinion. It doesn't matter what background or what they're doing. They'll have an opinion on how you should run your business. And that's probably the worst thing. Opinions are good from the right people. So that kind of ties in pick your advisors and the people you listen to quite carefully, and be a sponge at the same time. So listen to it, absorb it, but make your own mind up. Because if you listen to absolutely everyone and their advice on how you should do it, you'd get absolutely nowhere. You'd be just went around in a circle.
And if they haven't done it or been through what you're doing in your industry,
I think it's hard because a lot of people that aren't in business say they understand what it's like.
Yeah.
But you don't. There's just something about it that you'll just never understand until you do it.
Do you think that someone who's starting out should probably seek out someone who's in their industry maybe?
Definitely. Someone's in their industry, or someone that has got a certain skill set that will help them out.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I'm a massive advocate for peer-to-peer mentorship.
Yeah.
It's so easy to go to someone and they'll be like, oh well, I did this 20 years ago when I was making shirts, and this is how we sold it, so you should do the same. And I've made £10 million from it. The industry's not the same anymore. So all that advice there is little nuggets of knowledge in there, and value. Yeah, it's totally different. But I think I get the most out of talking to other people that are in the same position as me, trying to grow a business, trying to get something off the ground. They're going through the same issues, but because it's not their business, I think you see things a little bit differently. So I've got a friend, Joe, who makes coffee. Cool cold brew. Little plug for you, Joe.
Is it Joe and the Juice? Wait.
No, not Joe and the Juice. I'd like to know him.
I saw that.
He's wedged. But
I saw that brand recently. Go on, Karen, sorry.
No, so me and Joe, we've both got products. We work in very, very different fields, with very different routes to market. Yeah. But when he asks me a question, I see it from a different angle than he does. And I say, oh, have you tried this? And, oh, it's good thought. I haven't considered that. And he does the same for me. I think when you're in business, naturally, you become a little bit blinkered when you're really under-resourced and you kind of one or two of you doing it. you're very narrow-minded and you forget to see like the big picture sometimes.
Yeah.
And so having someone that's going through it as well, just for that kind of, it's so valuable.
Number 3?
Fuck it up, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you'll never, ever get it right first time. I don't think you ever should. People are too, I know it's a bit of a thing at the minute about failure and stuff, but it really is probably the best thing that can happen. And don't be scared of it either. Like, it's part of the process. I was the worst when I first started. I thought that was it, it's going to be plain sailing, and that first knockback I had was ridiculously hard to cope with. But being able to acknowledge it's part of the process and just move on and adapt and change and pull your pants up and start again.
I think they're really good points of advice. It's good for me to hear as well, because I'm trying to go through this myself, but anyone else that's interested. I guess the last thing we should catch is, if someone, you said you're going to be hiring people in the future, if someone wants to get in contact with you because they have services, skills to offer, or if someone wants to work with you or invest in you, how do they get hold of you?
The best is probably my email, matt@wearegentlemen.com.
Cool beans.
Or LinkedIn. Please don't try and sell me loads of services though.
I think when I say services, I mean like as a marketer who's looking for a new job and he's like, oh, that
marketer looking for a new job opposed to a marketing agency looking for a new client. I prefer that.
So any marketing agencies out there, just email.
Just calm down for 2 seconds,
Matt,
please.
We Are Gntlmen.
The amount I've had since this Crowdfunding campaign's gone on.
I think this way the tactics they use are amazing at the moment. Like, they're just hilarious.
Some guy was quality the other day though. He said, if this is of, if you want to go ahead with it, let's meet for a coffee. If not, send me a most insulting meme. And I was like, great, just sent him a meme. Didn't hear back from him.
No, I think I'm actually quite happy with what we call on camera. There's some cool stuff in there, especially for it's a slightly different journey, because some people I spoke to are established and we're just starting out, but this one's someone who's you've been around for a while, but you're actually looking at getting investments. So I think it's a cool story. So thank you very much.
Mate. No worries.
Thanks for coming here today. Cheers, bud.
Wait.